as of now, before we go ahead, let us try and complete this problem. Are we aware of what is the solution? What is the operating point for this question? Hello? We didn't work that out, correct?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. So what we'll do is we'll try and work out where we should operate. So before we do that, we need to understand what is the common region that we are referring to. Now, if I go like this, 4a plus 2b less than or equal to 100. So which is that equation? 4a plus 2b less than or equal to 100. That means this blue line. When I say less than or equal to, that means I'm referring to the region on the inner side. Correct? That means a region between this, and this. Fine. Then 4a plus 6b less than or equal to 180. So 4a plus 6b less, that means I'm talking about this. So when I get this region also, so that means I'm talking about this region, that means the inner side. So my common region would be 0 to 30 to this point. I think कुछ तो रहेगा, that I need to check it out. तो एक काम करते हैं, we will add the minor grid lines also, so that primary minor and primary minor vertical. Hopefully this should help us. Correct? Are we able to identify this point now? It is 20 and this is, I think, somewhere in between. So 2, 4, 6, 8. So that means in between. So 2, 4, this should be 5. So that means 15. So this point would be 15, 20. Fine. So we'll come back to that later.
Can you repeat what you did?
See, I have added minor grid lines from this button, or the other way is you can add it from design also. Add chart element, go to grid lines and primary minor and primary minor vertical, horizontal and vertical both. Okay. If you wish to customize your grid lines, even that is possible from this side. Okay, how you want them to look like. And the other way is if I so you can choose from here and still you can work out, you can directly just make the changes. Okay, so this is how you should add grid lines. It will help you in terms of identifying these intermediate points too. Okay, now once you have got this, okay, so now I know I'm referring to a region which is common like this and in between this area where I'm moving my mouse pointer. Fine. Or should I just are we able to identify the region? Yes or no?
No, sir. Can you show once again, please?
Okay. What I will do is, this is my first equation, 4a plus 2b less than or equal to 100. So that means I am referring to this region, this line, correct? It says less than or equal to 100. That means I am referring to the inner side, correct? That means I'm referring to this region. Is this fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay. अब इसके बाद में when I have another line coming in, okay, that is 4a plus 6b less than or equal to 180. So that means this line, orange line. So now my region, again it is saying less than or equal to 180. So that means I am referring to the inner region. Now the common region between the both the lines would be this, correct?
Yes.
Now after this, now when I am adding up one more, okay, that means this third line, a plus b less than or equal to 40. Okay, this is this line. Again it says less than or equal to, so that means it is talking about the inner side. So anyway, when I am saying the inner side, still the common region remains the same. Or is it fine? Common region for all the three lines.
Yes, sir.
Now the next line is a less than or equal to 20. When I say a less than or equal to 20, that means I'm talking about, say, this. So less than means this side. So automatically this part will get eliminated. So that means my region will change to from here to here, then up to this line. Okay, then this line. Is it all right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now after this, when I add the next one, which says b greater than or equal to 20, so that means this is this line, and when we say greater than, that means on the upper side. Okay, so my region will remain only this much. This part will also get eliminated. Okay, so let me, are we able to understand now? How am I identifying the region?
Yes, sir.
So now this becomes my common region, correct? Let me, sorry. Fine. Is it clearly visible now? Now, how do I identify what should be my operating point? So there are two methods which we normally use to work that out. Okay. First method is called as extreme points method. So that means I'm going to check the values at the extreme, and based on that, I will take a call that where I should operate. Okay, so my first point here would be 0, 10. If I look at this point, correct? When I say 0, 10, so that means एक second, इसमें A और B मैंने indicate नहीं किया है. Let me add that also. Let me add axis titles. So it is always very clear what I am referring to. Product A and product B. Okay, so थोड़ा सा मेरा
From which tool you made that?
sorry.
From which tool you made that diagram?
Hello.
The figure what you made to shade the area, from where you did it?
Okay, this option. Okay, manually तो आप ऐसे ही कर सकते हो. It is actually this option, this one, which is used for making free forms. Okay, so आप क्लिक करते जाइए, उस हिसाब से वो शेप बना लेता है. And it connects all the clicks by just straight lines. And if you want to make curves, you can use this. ये फ्री हैंड के लिए है. ओके, बट ये सब वो लाइंस वगैरह के ही लिए है. फाइन. Now whatever that I'm going to refer to would be A comma B kind of. So when I say A comma B, that means first coordinate will refer to product A and second would be for product B. X-axis is A, Y-axis is B. So first thing is X-axis 0, Y-axis 10. So that means I am talking about A, B. At X-axis it is 0, at Y-axis it is 10. What is my profit value at this point? I will come to that. उसके लिए हम लोग इधर पर हमने ये मेंशन नहीं किया है हमारा प्रॉफिट मैक्सिमाइजेशन, दैट इज Z equals to 3A plus 4B. Profit was 3 rupees per unit for A and 4 rupees per unit for B. So it would be 3A plus 4B. Okay, so equals to 3 into A plus 4 into B. So we are getting a profit of 40 at this point. Okay, at 0, 10. Let us check it at all the other points also. Okay, जहां भी हमको maximum मिलेगा, that would be our operating point. Now, second point, if I look at this, so it would be A would be 0, B is 30. Perfect, na? And I can just simply pull this formula. It is 120. So my profit becomes 120 at this point. Let me look at this. ये हमको कितना मिला था? It was 15, 20. So we'll have it as 15 and 20. So it gives me 125 as my profit. Next point is A is 20, B is 10. So A is 20, B is 10. So it gives me a profit of 100. I believe I have covered all the points. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the 4 points. So I have got all. At this point, my profit is the maximum. So this becomes my operating point. Are we clear? Hello? Any doubts here?
Could you explain the equation part again?
Okay. What I am doing is, this is my profit values. That means my equation is 3A plus 4B. I have not, here 3 profit is Z equals to 3A plus 4B. So I need to calculate the value of Z at these extreme points, extreme corners of my graphical solution. So my Z is 3 times this value plus 4 times whatever that I get for B. Okay, so that will give me the profit. So first point was 0, 10, 0 for A and 10 for B. So 0, 10. That time my profit was coming out to be as 3 into 0 plus 4 into 10, that is 40. Are we okay up to this?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Are we comfortable here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now second point is 0 comma, that means this point 0 comma 30. So again 3 into 0 plus 4 into 30 will give me 120. So this is another point where, but this point says that I should not be producing A. Okay, so 120. Now the third point is this, which is A is 15 and B is 20. I hope you remember we saw it using this smaller grid lines.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we will put that value into Z. So 3 into 15 plus 4 into 20 gives me 125. Okay, so this is the highest value till now. So still one more point is left out, that is 20 comma 10. So 20 comma 10 will give me 3 into 20 plus 4 into 10 gives me 100. So out of all the 4 points which are possible, at this point I am getting the maximum value for my profit. So that becomes my operating point. So that means I will produce 15 units of A and 20 units of B to get the maximum profit. जब तक दो equations है, you can solve them simultaneously and get a point. But here we don't have only just 2 equations, we have more. So this is how you work it out. Are we clear up to this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now there is another method which is called as iso profit line method. Okay. So when we look at this, अब उसके लिए हम क्या करेंगे? We will copy one of it and we'll create our this thing profit function and we will add values to it. Okay. एक काम करता हूँ. Let me just, so that we can see the graph also immediately besides. I hope this way we will be able to see the graph also. ज़्यादा छोटा हो गया क्या? Fine. Now I'm going to write my profit function here. So profit function is 3a plus 4b. Okay, so यहाँ पर values हम उसको change करते जाएंगे in this particular case, and we'll see how it works. So 3a 4 I don't know what is happening. I'm typing 4 and nothing is coming up. So now what I'm going to do is, since I'm getting these values from the operating point, so I can just work it out. So I will make the equation also here, and this equation would be equals to concatenate. I will tell you why I'm going to why I'm using this. Profit 3a plus 4b equals to comma and whatever is the value that is in this cell. Okay, so it will automatically appear as this is how it will look. So if I put 120 here, so automatically this will start appearing as 120. Okay, so it will take up whatever shape that I okay, so whatever shape that I do, it will take up, and I'm going to add this equation also here into the graph, and I will see how my profit line behaves. Okay, so I'm going to add one more line. Go to select data. I will add what would be the series name. Series name would be this. X values would be these values, and Y values would be these values. I say OK. Now I have one more line which has come up here. Okay, where is that line? Green one. Okay, अभी इसको मैं थोड़ी देर के लिए हटा देता हूँ just to see how my green line is going to behave. See, if I take it a value is equal to 0, it becomes a small dot here. Okay, when I make it say 10, my line has started moving, but it is still not inside the region. Okay, so let me make it 20. It has increased. Let me make it 40. Okay, now it is about to enter the region, but still it is outside the region. अभी ये अगर मैं minimize कर रहा होता था तो then this would have been the optimal solution. But now since I am maximizing it, so I would like to see what is the maximum profit that I can go and I should be still within the region or touching the extreme point of the region. Are we okay with this? My profit line should be within the region or extremely touching the region. If it is minimization, my profit line should be more closer to the inner side. If it is maximization, it has to be more on the outer side. Are we okay with this? Should I increase this further?
So,
Yes.
so actually, in the edit series, what series name did you do?
I have given this as a series name, this cell.
Okay, okay.
बाकी x का वैल्यूज आपका ये वाला आ जाएगा, y का वैल्यूज आपका ये आएगा. आप उसके लिए भी ठीक वैसे ही कोई एक वैल्यू लेकर के आप इसमें करोगे. मैनुअली करने जाओगे तो दिस इज क्वाइट कम्बरसम, बट इन केस व्हेन वर्किंग विथ एक्सेल इट इज क्वाइट इजी टू डू इट. बट वहीं पर ग्राफ बनाने के लिए एक्सेल में थोड़ी सी मेहनत हो जाती है, whereas it is easy for when doing it manually. रीजन्स वगैरह शेड करना बहुत ही आसान हो जाता है. इसको एक सेकंड, इसको हम ट्रांसपेरेंट कर देते हैं तो विल बी. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Are we comfortable?
Yes.
Should we work it out?
Yes, sir. Could you just repeat the profit line part?
Yes. What I'm doing is I started with profit line equals to 0. So when I say equals to 0, it is just a simple dot here. Okay. So what I did was I started increasing the profit, say 10. So I was able to, when I redraw it, so मुझे coordinates कुछ इस तरह के मिलते हैं and I am able to make it here. Normally इसके लिए हम लोग वो slide ruler जो होता है वो use करते हैं, और एक लाइन आपने ड्रॉ किया फिर पैरेलली रख करके you just draw it for different values of this thing z. Okay. So यहाँ पर अभी हम क्या करेंगे, since we don't have the slide ruler here, we are just working it out by increasing the profit value. So मैंने next value दिया 20. So still it was outside. Then I said 40 लेकर के देखते हैं. So it is just touching the region, this region which I am actually referring to. Okay. Now if I am placing it here, after that I am not able to see what is happening behind it. So that's the problem. That's the reason why I had removed it, so that I can see what is happening here. Okay. Now after 40 I will increase it to 60. With 60 it goes inside. अब यही अगर मैं मिनिमाइजेशन कर रहा होता था तो जस्ट मेरा रीजन को टच भी कर रहा है तो दैट बिकम्स माय optimal solution. But since it is about maximization, so मैं रीजन को टच करना अभी शुरू किया हूँ. ओके. सो इससे एक चीज तो क्लियर हो जाती है कि मिनिमम प्रॉफिट इफ आई ऑपरेट विद इन दिस रीजन, मिनिमम प्रॉफिट वुड बी 40, which is confirming to this statement. Okay. And if I go beyond, so that means I increase my profit levels. So that means I will have to I will be operating at this line. So that means 0, 15 and 20, 0. So at this point it is giving me a profit of 60. Okay. Still, since I am within the region, there is a possibility of increasing the profit. So I will go and increase up to 100. So when I say up to 100, so I have started touching this point, but still I'm within the region. So I can increase it further. Let's make it 120. So 120 is touching this line and inside the other region. So it is still fine. When I make it 130, so I go outside my region. see, this is my region. So I have gone outside my region, and hence this cannot be my solution. So I will be again going back. Okay, and I will reduce it and I make it 125. When I make it 125, it is just touching this point. That says this is my operating point. Okay, it says that this should be my operating point where the profit would be maximum with 125 as my profit, and my operating point would be 15,20. Clear up to this?
Yes, sir. So I just had one doubt, but if we could see that the green line, it is going a bit above the orange line. So like it is going outside the region, right?
Yes, at this point, yes, it is outside the region, but at this point, it is just touching the region.
Sir, please can you show the formula like what you applied in the profit line method?
For
Actually,
which
I
one?
missed it. The profit
Which
line
one?
method. Yeah,
Where?
the first one.
At this point?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
So, and you extrapolated, no?
I have used concatenate so that I can see that line also here.
Okay. And sir, after that, what you did in the beside that?
Here,
Not here, like beside that.
adding that line to this chart.
Okay.
I have added that line also to this chart. So this becomes my uh, uh, just a second, I will show you. I have added it, and series name was selected at this one. X values were selected as this, and Y values as this.
तो सर मैन्युअली नहीं कर सकते ना, ऐसे ही करना पड़ेगा।
मैनुअली आपको एक एक बार बार वो करना पड़ेगा, तो मैंने जानबूझ करके इसको वेरिएबल रखा और इसको वैल्यूज सिर्फ चेंज करता हूं। मैंने इसको जानबूझ के इधर पर कॉन्कैटिनेट फंक्शन यूज किया है, सो दैट मेरा इक्वेशन keeps on changing with whatever that value I put it here.
तो ओनली कॉन्कैटिनेट करके कभी कर सकते हैं ना?
हाँ, आप कर सकते हो, बट सिर्फ यही है कि वो डायनामिसिटी उसमें फिर नहीं दिखेगी। कॉन्कैटिनेट यूज करके मैंने क्या किया कि इतना पार्ट फिक्स किया है, ओके, और ये मैंने सिर्फ वैल्यूज को साथ में इधर पर ऐड कर दिया, कॉन्कैटिनेट कर दिया, उसमें साथ में जोड़ दिया है। अगर मैं पूरा का पूरा इधर पर हार्डकोर वैल्यू डायरेक्ट इधर से वही सेलेक्ट करूं और इधर पर कॉन्कैटिनेट फंक्शन नहीं डालूंगा, सो I will not be able to have an equation which is changing with this value also. Okay. Did I answer your question और मैंने
Yes.
कुछ गलत बोला?
हाँ आंसर।
Was I not? मेरे को क्वेश्चन हो सकता है फिर शायद समझा ना हो। Did I answer your question?
Yes sir.
Okay, great. ठीक है, so we can go ahead. Are we okay now? एक्चुअली मॉडलिंग में ना आप यही सब चीज करते हो ताकि ज्यादातर चीजें आपका डायनामिक हो, मतलब डिसीजन मेकिंग के लिए आपने वैल्यूज चेंज किए एंड यू शुड बी एबल टू सी द चेंजेस in the system. If it would have been minimization, then we would have looked at minimum value. Fine. Any doubts
Yes,
there?
sir. No.
Okay. What we'll do is we'll take up the next one. And now since we know how to solve it, we'll focus only on formulation, and solving can be done using Torah or whatever that you wish to. Okay.
Yes,
Can
sir.
we take up this third one? The advertising manager of Skylark Limited has a budget of 2 lakh for the annual sales campaign for a particular year. The current advertising proposal is to promote the baggies through two leading fashion magazines, Fashion Today and Look. The unit cost of an ad in Fashion Today is 2,000 and that of Look is rupees 3,500. Past experience shows that during the sales campaign, the company will need at least 25 ads to appear in Look Fashion Today is a monthly in Look. Fashion Today is ये यहाँ पर full stop miss हो गया. Fashion Today is a monthly magazine and not more than one insertion is desired in one issue. The expected effective readership for unit ad in Fashion Today is 40,000 and for Look it is 55,000. Formulate a suitable linear programming which will maximize effective readership for the company's advertisements. So ये आपका एडवर्टाइजिंग का मार्केटिंग वालों I've just copied the question here, so it is easy for us to formulate. Can you try on your own? Would you like to try it or should I start doing it?
So you start doing it.
What would be the objective? Were you able to do it? Completed?
Yes, sir. So I just had one doubt
Yes.
that with respect to past experience of sales, would it be more than equal, sorry, greater than equal to 25?
Okay. करते हैं. We'll come to that.
Okay.
First is we should start with it is always preferable to list down the data that is available with you, and then we will start with formulation. So when we start with formulation, the first thing is always to set or rather objective. So that will help us in understanding exactly what should be our this thing. Objective is to what? To maximize effective readership for the company's advertisement. Correct? So that means it should be able to reach the maximum people. Correct? With one insertion, it goes up to 40,000 readers of Fashion Today and 55,000 of Look. So my objective would be to maximize this value. कितना ज़्यादा लोगों तक पहुँचे. So how many insertions of this and how many insertions of this? So I believe आपके क्वेश्चन का आंसर शायद अभी हो गया. Will we have less than equal to or greater than equal to for this? No. किसने क्वेश्चन पूछा था? I couldn't see it.
So Neha.
नेहा. हाँ नेहा. आपका डाउट क्लियर हुआ क्या बेटा?
So could you just repeat for one more time?
See what happens is हम यहाँ पर ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है? Formulate a suitable linear programming which will maximize effective readership. तो आपको readership ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा रीडर्स तक मतलब वहाँ तक वो पहुँचना चाहिए. सो अभी एक तरह से देखा जाए सो फॉर फैशन टुडे द रीडरशिप इज 40,000 जब आप अपना ऐड डालते हो एंड फॉर लुक इट इज 55,000. सो नाउ व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इज if I make one ad in Fashion Today and in Look, so through Fashion Today I will be able to reach 40,000 readers, and with Look I will be able to reach 55,000 readers. Okay, यहाँ पर हम कुछ चीजें assume कर रहे हैं कि दोनों के यूनिक रीडर्स हैं, मतलब जो फैशन टुडे के रीडर्स हैं वो फैशन टुडे के हैं और जो लुक के हैं वो लुक के हैं. दे डोंट रीड अदर दिस थिंग, मतलब फैशन टुडे वाला लुक नहीं देखता और लुक वाला फैशन टुडे नहीं देखता है. दैट्स एन अजम्पशन. ओके, अब हमारा ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है? ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोगों तक पहुंचने का है. सो दैट मीन्स इफ आई लुक एट इट लाइक दिस, सो ऑब्जेक्टिव वुड बी टू maximize readers. So when I say maximize readers, so obviously I cannot have a constraint on readership. It would be my objective. So it would be 40,000, and if I say decision variables as 40,000 into Fashion Today plus 55,000 into Look. Look के लिए मैं जानबूझ के LK लिख रहा हूँ. Fine. So it would be maximize Z equals to, यहाँ तक ओके?
Yes, sir.
आपका decision variables will be number of insertions in Fashion Today and number of insertions in look. यहां तक ओके है? हम उनके लिए यूज कर रहे हैं वेरिएबल नेम्स एज ft और इसके लिए lk. Clear up to this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now my constraints. Constraints क्या रहेंगे? Will this also be my constraint? Cost? It would be limited by budget. So that means 2000 into number of insertions in fashion today plus 3500 into number of insertions in look should be less than or equal to how much? My budget 2 lakh.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Next would be minimum ads requirement. So in case of look, the number of ads, it says minimum ads requirement. बराबर ना इसी तरह से है ना? The company will need at least 25 ads. So that means for look, it has to be greater than or equal to 25. Minimum ads requirement for look magazine. And since your other Fashion Today magazine is a monthly magazine, so एक ही होगा. So you cannot have not more than one insertion. So that means you can have only one insertion per month. So that means this cannot be more than one. So it has to be less than or equal to 1. So Fashion Today has to be less than or equal to 1. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Are there any more constraints?
No, sir.
ये आपका ऑब्जेक्टिव बन गया, ये कंस्ट्रेंट है, ये कंस्ट्रेंट है, ये भी कंस्ट्रेंट है. करेक्ट? सो नाउ यू हैव this as your objective function and these three as your constraints. Solve हो जाएगा?
Yes, sir. We'll try.
इसको अगर हम लोग टोरा में करने जाएंगे तो बहुत ही आसानी से फटाफट हो जाएगा. आई एम जस्ट लिस्टिंग डाउन and I will show you on Torah. You can solve it on Excel as well as you can solve it on Torah. But Torah would be only just for helping you in terms of understanding it. Number of variables 2, number of constraints, we have to say it's 3. And my variable name, say ft, this side it is look, maximize what? 40,000. And and here it would be 55,000. First constraint is 2,000. This is 3,500 and it has to be less than or equal to 200,000. Then second constraint, here it would be 0, this would be 1, and it has to be greater than or equal to 25. In case of this one, FT is 1, LK 0, less than or equal to 1. And now I will go ahead and solve it. I don't wish to save it. Say graphical, go to the output screen. My first equation comes here itself, less than or equal to, तो सब पूरा इसी side में values आ जाएगी. What about this one? The second one is this, and then my budget. So in one go, this is what it is actually talking about. So this becomes my optimum point, that is I will be able to reach up to this, and number of readers आप उस हिसाब से वर्कआउट कर सकते हो. कितना दिखा रहा है नंबर ऑफ रीडर्स? 3151428.57. and number of insertions in look, this is number of insertions in FT, this is number of insertions in look. So FT में आप एक ही कर सकते हो, इसलिए वो 1 का ही वैल्यू ले रहा है, यहाँ पर ज़्यादा लेगा. So you can just zoom out and see. It is something around I think 60 के करीब है. ओके आपको शायद इधर पर नीचे वो वैल्यूज भी दिखेगी, मुझे नहीं दिख रही है. You will be able to see it.
So actually, even we are not able to see it, the optimal solution.
अच्छा, आपके इसमें भी नहीं आ रहा है पूरा?
No.
ये जब से वो माइक्रोसॉफ्ट ये 10 वाला आ गया है तब से ये थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है, ये पूरा स्क्रीन दिखता नहीं है. उसके लिए शायद थोड़ा सा मुझे कुछ चेंजेस करने पड़ेंगे. तो anyway,
So the non-negativity constraints which are there, so we have to add that also in the graph in Excel.
it automatically comes up in case of an Excel as well as Torah. हम हमेशा पॉजिटिव क्वाड्रेंट की बात कर रहे हैं ना, सो ऑटोमेटिकली दिस इज टेकन केयर ऑफ.
Okay, okay.
Okay, should we take up the next one?
Yes.
You will be able to complete it now. Are you able to see the question?
Yes, sir.
ये इन्वेस्टमेंट से रिलेटेड प्रॉब्लम है. A retired person wants to invest up to an amount of ₹30,000 in fixed income securities. His broker recommends investing in two bonds, bond A yielding for 7% and bond B yielding 10%. After some consideration, he decides to invest at most 12,000 in bond B and at least 6,000 in bond A. ये आपका constraints define करते जा रहा है. Okay. and यहाँ पर उसका decision variable भी है, which says how much he should invest in bond A and how much to invest in bond B. He also wants the amount invested in bond A to be at least equal to the amount invested in bond B. This is another constraint. What should the broker recommend if the investor wants to maximize his return on investment? Solve graphically. So as usual, data available should be listed down first. So आपका decision variable क्या रहेगा यहाँ पर? Investment in bond A and investment in bond B. Correct ना?
Yes, sir.
यहाँ पर limitation है budget का. Or rather we can call it as investment budget. How much is the investment budget? 30,000 rupees. His broker recommends investing in two bonds, bond A and bond B. So he has an option of bond A, second is bond B. That means यहाँ पर decision variable normally यही होगा कि कितना किस में invest करना है. Okay, bond A yields in returns. So bond A gives you 7%, whereas bond B gives you 10%. He decides to invest at most 12,000 in bond B. So that means maximum investment 12,000 rupees in bond B. Correct? And at least 6,000 in bond A. So minimum investment. So it says 6,000 rupees in bond A. What should the broker recommend? इसके बाद में क्या है? He also wants the amount invested in bond A to be at least equal to the amount invested in bond B. So that means investment in bond A at least equal to बोल रहा है. So that means it has to be greater than or equal to investment in bond B. Correct? Am I interpreting it correctly?
Yes, sir.
What should the broker recommend if the investor wants to maximize his return on investment? So my objective would be जो भी invest करूंगा into 7% plus investment in bond B into 10% should be the maximum. Correct? So यहाँ पर formulations हम लेते हैं. LPP formulation. My पहला objective function क्या रहेगा? Maximize returns, है ना? And how much would be the returns? Z equals to 7%. 7% मतलब कि कितना हो गया? 0.07 of investment in A. Correct? Plus 0.10 of investment in B. Correct, na? Please correct
Yes.
me if I'm wrong.
No.
Decision variable. Investment in bond A. Second is investment in bond B. हम लोग उसके लिए यूज क्या कर रहे हैं? इसके लिए हमने A लिया, इसके लिए B ले लिया. Easy. Now our constraints. Are we able to follow? या मैं
Yes.
अकेले ही अपनी गाड़ी चला रहा हूँ?
Following, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now for constraints, it would be investment in A, that means A plus B has to be less than or equal to 30,000. This is my budgetary constraint or my risk taking appetite. Correct? दूसरा, maximum investment. So that means B has to be less than or equal to 12,000. Okay. Next is A has to be greater than or equal to 6,000. So minimum investment criteria. What about this one? A has to be greater than or equal to B. So condition. ठीक है? We can look at it as ratio or proportion, how I would like to invest. Correct? Last is A and B has to be greater than or equal to 0, that is non-negativity constraint. Fine?
Yes.
सॉल्व कर लेंगे आप लोग?
Yes, sir.